Hi guys, it's Michelle Patterson here with Angel Souls, and this is your weekly Angel Oracle card reading for the week beginning August 8th, 2016. For this week, I'm going to be using the Messages from Your Angels Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue, and of course pulling a color card from the Secret Language of Color Oracle deck by Inna Segal. Now, I'm going to take a few minutes here in the beginning. I have so many things to tell you. Now, if you're somebody who you like to skip ahead, I totally get that. And if you don't have time to listen, because I might talk for a few minutes, if you don't have time to listen, I get it. But please, if you're wanting to get a video download, or you're wanting to get the courses, or you're wanting to get a personal reading, please come back to the intro of any video. I post it at the beginning, the end, it's in the description box. Now, I'm not talking to people who aren't so good with social media. Totally not talking to you. If you are uncomfortable or unsure about how to get a reading, talk to me. I will walk you through it. I am just like you. I mean, I had to really learn these things, so please don't be shy about that. But a lot of times people come to me and they're emailing me and going, how do I get that video? How do I get that course? Well, I always announce it in the beginning. Now, today's a really special day because, like I said, I have so many cool things to tell you that are up and coming. There's some other things I want to let you know. Where do I even begin? So my background's a little bit different. This is what my bedroom looks like. There's my giant dream catcher. And you see this board probably like right here. This is my soundboard, and this is what I typically put behind me so that not everybody's having to look at my bed or, you know, whatever. But the reason why this is here and why I wouldn't move it is, again, I don't want you to see my bed. I didn't make it this morning. I'm sorry. I just didn't. But my vision board is clipped to the back of it. I might take a picture of it. I did like a little abundance thing. I'll take a picture of it. It's like a cornucopia. There's some fruit, some flowers. There are my vision boards. Back here, it's like a whole little thing, and it's facing my bed. I also, for the past few days over the new moon, I love to connect with Archangel Haniel during that time, and yes, it's a great time for manifestation. So I have 3 wish candles that I have lit. The energy of that has been charging for the past few days. They're very angelic, and I have them lit right now for you. So what I would love for you to do is just put your hands over your heart, close your eyes, and let me share some of that energy that I've built up over the past few days. Share that with you. Make your wish. Know that it's coming true. Ask the angels and the archangels of love and light to guide you to your wish. And take a deep breath in. And so it is. All right. And hopefully your wishes will come true if they are the right thing for you. Remember, the universe is always sort of protecting you. Okay. So if it's not the right time for something, just trust that. All right. So let's see. We talked about the decks. How do you get a reading with me? You go to my website, angelsouls444.com, the services tab. Go ahead and follow the instructions there. If you want to support me on Patreon, I'll leave that information down below. All the extra readings, if you like to go back and watch for the previous month, all of July. August is up, the course on how to perceive your angels, a course on the basics of how to read oracle cards, or at least my take on it. All of that is on Gumroad. Again, I will leave those links down below. Are you ready? Okay. I think it's safe to start letting you guys know that I'm still working. You guys know I've been talking about my book for years. A while back, I finally did hook up with somebody, a great editor who has kind of a paranormal background, but she's got a really strong editorial resume. She really knows her stuff, and she's even kind of a writing coach, and it's been wonderful working with her. And I am in probably the toughest phase of the editorial process on this book, where I'm really digging. I'm giving them all the characters get one last chance to say what they got to say. And then we go into line edits, copy editing, proofreading. I'm even going to be hiring a designer to do the cover. I mean, it's happening. Now, as far as a release date, I'm self-publishing. So I do, I'm kind of laughing because I'm like, if I were with a traditional publisher, I mean, they would have had a publication date set, and I would have to just deal with it and go with it. But because I'm doing it on my own, I would love for it to be done and out by October 31st of this year. I don't know that that would happen. I want it to be the best book it can possibly be. I want to tell the most beautiful story that pings everyone's heart and lightens their soul. And if that means I have to hang on to it for a little bit longer to keep going for that and keep bringing that voice out, that's what I want to do. And I want to do that for you guys. So I just wanted to let you know the dates I'm feeling. It might be like October if things go really well. If not, maybe December 1st-ish. And then after that, it might be like January 2017. But I would definitely keep you posted on that. One of the things I wanted to prep you for, I made a very distinct choice in this book and in writing this book. There's foul language in it. Yes, there is. So parents, this is not written for children. It's a lot of adult content. I would highly recommend that you, when it does come out, and if you're interested, for you to read it before you even pass it along. Teenagers, I think, would be okay. Well, maybe not for you. I mean, there's the F-bomb in there. Michelle, how dare you? Number one, let's talk about it. First of all, everyone just associates angels with religion, and religion tells us that certain language is not okay. I do agree that certain words carry a frequency, but I know that as an angel medium and in that angelic presence all the time, they also don't have an ego. So, I don't know, maybe I'm just a bad angel medium or something. I don't think so, but, I'm very creative with my language. Some people might liken me to an old school truck driver or something. I'm very real. I'm very real. And I think that's why a lot of you come here, because I'm going to be real with you. So when this book does come out, be aware of that. I wanted these characters, again, to be very human, to have very human reactions. And I'm sorry, but when something is making you upset or you can't figure something out, there are going to be words that come flying out of your mouth. So just be prepared for that, okay? This is not that kind of book that sort of tiptoes. If you don't know me by now, I do not tiptoe, all right? I like to keep things real. The other exciting thing that's coming up is, once again, I'm going to be joining Tori Hartman. I almost couldn't remember her name. I'm so sorry. Sorry. Tori, that's not about you. I got too many announcements going on in my head. Tori Hartman, she's doing her online intuitive festival again this year, and I'm going to be a part of that panel. So I believe, I don't have the exact dates on when that's going to be airing, but I think that's in September. I know she and I were going to be doing the interview mid-month of this month, and then it'll air a little bit later. And the last thing I wanted to tell you guys about is the meetup. There's going to be a meetup first Friday in September. I believe that's September 2nd. It's going to be in Colorado Springs, the neighborhood that is called Old Colorado City. It's going to be at my friend's shop, okay? It's Heart Market. And the exact time and all that, I'll keep you posted. What I'm considering doing, and this is important for all of you to hear because that means the weekly might be out a little bit later than normal. I'm thinking about bringing my little GoPro, my little stand at the meetup, setting up, and recording the weekly. So if you want to come and watch me screw up, lose my train of thought, get distracted, have a message switch right in the middle of recording, that happens, where I'm like, and I know I have to abandon everything I just said. And I don't know what that is. I don't know if energies, like I said, energies shift and then you have to kind of go back and do it over, but whatever. So if you want to be there for that and you want to watch me do a weekly reading, it's not going to be live unless maybe I could do it live on Facebook. It's tricky. You're talking to Michelle here. I don't know how much I can kind of have going at once, but we'll try. But at the very least, I will be recording probably the weekly from there. So come on down if you can and be there in the shop while I'm doing that. Okay. Good stuff, good stuff. Take in the energy of that wish again, guys. Whatever your wish was, and let it out. And know that peace is here for us now. It has been a challenging 2016. I know, again, I'm going to be very real with you. I had a moment yesterday where I just went back to bed. And I had to have a real heart-to-heart with God and just be like, why is everything so stinking hard? Seriously. No, seriously, this isn't me just whining. Why is all this stuff happening? And I know there are lessons behind it or whatever, but I was really in my head asking some very, very deep questions. And I can't sit here and say that I got this very distinct answer. I think God doesn't, play into our nonsense, but I know that later on I felt very encouraged to get back up out of bed and to continue on and to just do whatever I could to take care of myself. So I'm going to spread that to you. I think if you are at your breaking point, or if you're just feeling tired, or you can't see a solution in front of you and you just don't know what's happening, again, that's where faith and trust comes in. All right. And you can have a chat with God. It's all right. Like, hey, what do I need to know here? So on and so forth. And I have Archangel Uriel in here. That's Uriel. There are a lot of angels that sound the same. There's Muriel. There's Ariel. This is Uriel. Uriel. I think a lot of the Orthodox religions, or like Orthodox Catholic, they recognize him as a saint. Please correct me if you are of that religion and I don't have that correct, but I believe that that is the case. But Uriel is not just about wisdom and helping you forgive and, you know, helping you get inspired with new ideas, but Uriel comes in and helps you understand what God wants for you. He helps you understand, like yesterday, I was going through having a moment. Uriel would be the one to call in that moment, because Uriel can come forward and help you just kind of understand, like, this is God's course for you. This is how you can sort of solve this conflict. This is the solution, you know, and it might not come as like okay, here's your ticket. Now you get to go on the train. It's done. No, it's going to give you some comfort and a little bit of clarity, which breaks open a little bit more clarity and a little bit more and a little bit more. Now, if you call in Archangel Michael while you're doing all this, you're going to be okay. All right. And you're going to be able to move forward. All right. So don't be afraid to do that. We're breaking the energies open. Yes, it's still really, really tough, but things are changing. The tides are turning, kind of thing, you know, so hang with it, I guess, is what the message is starting off with this week. I should also mention there's a huge windstorm going on outside, which I love. I love weather. I don't know. I'm like a geek like that. But it's nice and cool out. But if you hear like the building cracking a little bit, you might even hear the wind whipping up. That's what that is. Okay. Now let's get to it here. I don't mind telling you, I feel really buzzy. I feel like change is afoot. Oh man, my candle's over there. Guys, can you clear this deck out? I forgot to bring a candle around my desk. It's not that far. It's enough. I'll just kind of clear it out. I'm just doing, I don't know if you can see it in the frame here, but I'm just sort of waving them for clarity. Clear them out. Okay, let's do the cards now. I want to also comment, you know, I got someone saying to me last week, your side chatter is not good. My response to that is, one of these days, I'm not going to use these. And I'll probably lose a lot of subscribers, because for some people are obsessed with the physical cards. I get it. We're physical beings. We need that validation. We need that confirmation. But I'm a angelic medium. I don't need these. Okay? They're fun. And I think it's always good to incorporate an artist's vision and the, you know, author's words and stuff like that. Again, it's nice for validation, give a little more clarity. They certainly come in handy when you get a client who is completely closed off and you cannot break through. They can help out quite a bit. But one of these days I'm not going to have these. So it's going to be all chatter. Chatter, as this woman referred to it as. It's called channeling and using your intuition and sharing your own experiences because somebody else might be able to relate. Empathy and compassion is a big part of these messages. Oops, there goes a card, which fell on the floor. So I have to incorporate that because that's what I'm guided to do. You would not probably like the messages as much if I didn't share with you who I am, right? That's what we do here. We connect with one another. Hope that makes sense. I gotta get that card. Hang on. Okay. Peace. Coming into peace. Excellent. Yeah, I'm hearing people putting, sorry, I gotta fix my shirt here. People putting their weapons down. And I don't know that anybody's gonna win out of the battle, so to speak, but everyone's tired. And we got the Teresa card here, which says we need to chill out. Okay. So. I told you actually I left my patio door open in the front room, so it's even blowing my my door around. Interesting, right? So I'm going to hold up all these cards. I want you to look at the colors. Okay, the color scheme here. They're all very earthy. Let me make sure from my monitor. I'm looking at my little monitor down here. Make sure you can see them. You get a feel for the color there? Yeah, all kind of very earthy. Groundedness. I have sandalwood in here. Raguel, R-A-G-U-E-L. Haniel. Haniel's still here because of that energy of the moon. And there was something about that new moon and about the full moon that's coming up, and we're right in between the two. So work with Haniel as well. She's the angel of joy. Sandalphon helps you. He's known as the angel of music. So you want to be mindful about maybe using sound for healing and getting attuned, or go ahead. Sandalphon is going, well, I don't know if you can see, but he's kind of doing like a round motion, or like around a woman's belly. And he's showing me that that's sort of like the earth. How weird the earth is on the back of these cards too. The earth can, oh, thank you. The earth can cradle you in her womb. So this is another way of putting it where we say be grounded, okay? Be very earthed. And this is the way, this beautiful way that he's sort of putting it, is that Gaia can put you in her womb so that you can rest a little bit and be at peace. And then Raguel is all about relationship harmony, and you'll see why we're bringing him in here in just a second. So the first card is Shanti. I am the angel of peace. I bring you new tranquility and a smoother road ahead. Now, they're really pointing out the order of these cards, okay? Because there's going to be something that's seemingly the outcome card where it's conflict, but it's not, okay? It's an existing situation. It is between people. It might be between you and an organization. I cannot talk today. I am so sorry. I'm hyper today. I'm like, that's, you know, the energy comes through the way it's going to come through, and it's a very kind of buzzy feeling, so I might trip over my words. I do apologize once again. But there's a peaceful road coming to you. Again, it may not look the way you want. You may not be the victor, right? I think in this situation, again, like I said before, it's like everybody just has to like put their swords down. Everyone just has to be like, and we're going to see why here, because we're getting sick, we're tired, we're drained, and this is where the Teresa card comes in. It says time out. Everyone just a second. You've been so busy taking care of everyone else's needs, but now it's time to take care of yourself. But those Adoring Virtues words I'm going to add to this card and say this time out is sort of like, okay, everybody stop. This is getting, you know, this is making you spin out of control. This is turning you into somebody that you're not. You know, you're becoming this antagonistic monster, and you're becoming this basket case over here who can't handle anything, and you're not evil, and you're not a wimp. So why is everybody behaving this way? That's the timeout. It's sort of like, okay, the situation's getting out of control. Let's all just get back to center here, right? So here's that card. And this, I think, is very much encouraging us to go and find that joy. Haniel energy again. The Raguel energy, do you have a message, Raguel? Harmony must start with you. And the feeling he's given me is, it's not that you have to go to somebody and be like, listen, I'm so sorry. And again, here we go with the sword idea, but like having to fall on your sword with somebody. No, you don't have to sit there, and accountability is always good, but you don't have to especially empower somebody who would feed on that, you know, would feed on your apology. It's more about, I'm going to let you be you. I'm going to be me. We don't like each other, or this wasn't the right situation. You do you, I'll do me. Call it a day, right? So that's where that harmony kind of comes in. Then some of us have been, working exceptionally hard. I mean, working our tails off to make something real happen in this world, whatever that is for you, whether you've been really, you know, working for peace, or you've been working on an artistic project, or, you know, whatever. And this is not a message about, oh, I've been working my tail off to get a promotion. It's not about that. There's nothing wrong with wanting a promotion or wanting prosperity in your life. But it's not coming down to that. This is about, can you guys make that clear, please? Cracking open the meaning of life. Now, oh boy, if that isn't deep, I don't know what is. Cracking open the true meaning of life. What really is important. Now, here's my side chatter. Here we go. This is what I do. And if you don't like it, sorry. This is what it is. So let me give you an example of that. You know, as I just said in the beginning of the video, I've been working on this book. I've been really wanting to put my heart and soul into it. It's really imperative to me that people feel something on a deep, deep level. And yet I'd wake up every day and there would be something there that I had to take care of. Maybe I had to go get the hail damage corrected on my car, or there's a fight with that neighbor, or I have to fight with property management, or I have to, you know, there's always something that needs or I thought needed my attention immediately. And what we're having to do now, again, it's all about taking care of yourself, laying down the swords. That doesn't mean that the other party's going to be right there with you on your time frame, but you got to get back to your priorities. If the thing that brings you joy, like in my case, the thing that brings me joy is thinking maybe, no guarantees, maybe no one will like the book. I hope not, but I hope I hope that people will really love it. My hope is that if I can tap into my soul and bring words to the surface and really create art, at least that's what I'm trying to do here. We'll see if I do it. I'm trying to bring that up unfettered and onto the page. And then you have to sort of correct it so that a human brain can take it in, right? And you got to go through that filtration system for it to reach the soul. If that's my priority, why am I not giving my energy to that the most, right? So again, I had to have that hard lesson for myself, and I think that's the message for everybody this week. Get back to what brings you joy. Get back to what is meaningful for you. If you are somebody who works a lot, let's say, and you haven't had a chance to spend a lot of time with your kids, but your kids are everything to you, call in sick. Call in sick and take your kids to the park or go do something that's really meaningful for you. It's that kind of thing, and do it this week, guys. No excuses. You don't need to plan your life out. I mean, sometimes your plan is not the best thing for you, and it's not going to bring you the happiest outcome. So just trust whatever's happening. The next card we have here is Athena. She says, it is safe for you to be powerful. You know how to be powerful in a loving way that benefits others as well as yourself. Again, where is your power? Your power is not in winning. Your power is not in having the last word or being right. Your power lies in your joy and what you have to contribute to the world. So when you're focusing your love and your energy into that, nothing can stop you. And you know what? Nothing else can touch you. So if you are having someone who's wanting to quarrel with you, who's just always trying to drag you down, the more you're focused on your own joy and getting back into your project, and this is not something that's easy. Okay? This is not easy. I know my heart leaps over certain things that still happen in my home. Like, my home is my sanctuary. It's, I have to really work hard to keep it cleansed and to keep in that higher frequency to do the work that I do. But I found a way. I hide in certain areas of my home. I put on some good music and I dive into the world of Matronia. Part of the Angelic Strain series, so that's where my heart is, and that again is where your power lies, and that's what you're supposed to be doing as well. Now here's this final card here before we get on to the color card. It's Grace and Antoinette. To help heal this situation, see the other I told you I cannot talk today. See the other person's poisons. Yeah. See the other person's point of view with compassion. Again, this could be a situation where it's really gotten out of hand. We're sort of really trying to make the other person either feel like they're just terrible or whatever it is. And again, this is laying down the swords and saying, okay, we may not agree here, but we can agree that this is no longer serving either one of us. We both have other things going on. This could be someone moving on out of your life, okay? This could be someone going, all right, you know what? I'm done. Goodbye. And yet there's a feeling of people keeping their head down, right? So I don't think this is like an energy of going out with a bang kind of thing. So if you've been wanting to quit your job, it's not like you go in there and then you tell them off or whatever. You hear all the stories like about how people quit a job. It's not like that. I think people accept change into the world and they're just relieved that the conflict is over. Okay? Again, it's not about blaming. It's not about, I was right. I knew it. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not the energy you want to be in. So it's a nice week. Again, could leave you, I think we had this last week too. I don't remember, where you could be feeling still a little raw, but amazing, right? I don't know if I mentioned this, but I woke up this morning. I'm a fall baby through and through. Here's more side chatter. Sorry about it. I am a fall baby and I love cool weather, not cold. I ain't for the winter. I don't like slipping on ice, but the nice cool weather. And I woke up this morning and it's been hot out. I mean, it's been like in the upper 90s, and then it was like 68 degrees out here, right? I don't know what that would be in Celsius. Sorry. I'm trying to convert in my head. But I just felt so alive. I just felt so alive because I felt a shift. Now that's a very physical example of, I think, what would kind of explain the energy that would be going on this week. It's like everything's just been kind of running hot, so to speak, where it's just like everyone's like ready to boil over, and then there's a cooling. And then you feel kind of like, oh, okay, the worst is over. It's okay now. We can go our separate ways, so on and so forth. Okay. So let's get into the color card for this week. Guys, I'm so happy for you. Please, it's going to be okay. Whatever you're going through, it's going to be all right. There's going to be some solution, someone coming to you. For everybody, it's going to be different. But remember what I said. I right from the top of the reading, so I told you not to skip over the intro because there's something good in there for you. I built up the energy here, you know, right behind the stand. Again, I'll take a picture and maybe post it at the end of this video. And we've got the wish candles going here. So if you're like, Michelle, what are you talking about? I don't know. Yeah, you skipped the intro. Make a wish. Just make a wish. Breathe it in and know that it's coming to you. Let's get to it. I want to pull two. Purple, developmental clarity. Top one. Say it again. Yes. Okay. All right. Well, let's get to it. Here you go. Here are your colors. I'll put them right up in front of my good face. Here you go. Here you go. What the heck are we talking about? We're talking about higher wisdom. We're talking about ascension. But don't try. You know, sometimes your best way to ascension is just by being human for a minute. Like if you skip being human, you guys hear me say this stuff all the time. The more you skip being human, the longer it's going to take for you to ascend. Oh no, I want to be in the light. I want to be positive. Well, sometimes something ticks you off. Again, that's why I chose the language that I did for my book. Like you have to face the world you're in right now. And you're not always going to be positive. If you are, you're being fake. Or you're like an alien. Maybe. I believe anything. You know, like maybe. But even so, as soon as you incarnate into a physical human body, even if you are an alien, okay, you have a third dimensional ego consciousness. Doggone it. And that thing makes you mad about stuff. Now, is it a test at times? Yeah. You're supposed to be growing from it? Yeah. But part of that growth is you going through the mud a little bit. So don't be afraid to do that. Don't beat yourself up if you do start feeling kind of, you know, whatever. It's all part of the process. So that's part of the wisdom. And that's the wisdom of purple, developmental clarity, numbers 39. Again, as I've always said, I'm not a professional numerologist, but I put the numbers out there in case, you know, in case you are, and maybe this has some deep meaning for you. So this is the crown chakra, guys. This is like, yes, maybe kind of coming out of the fighting and maybe coming into that higher wisdom. Uriel can help you with that. Thank you, Uriel. He's floating right here. He's like right here. I almost feel like he's like the producer of the show right now. And like, you know, like, go say this, you know, don't forget to say that. So call on Uriel this week, guys, and really work with him. It depends on what angel medium you talk to. Some say he's for the crown. Some say he's for the solar plexus. He says, I'll help you with whatever. just call upon me. There's something in your higher wisdom that's really going to spark for you. And purple is very transmuting too. We think of it as more of like a violet color. So the violet flame, meditation, that sort of thing. So let me just get it. There's all this imagery, and it's like going in vignettes all throughout my mind. So first I saw, like in this card, there's a light in the center. This is sort of in the purple color. So it's sort of like by tuning into your wisdom and everything, you're coming out into the light again. But then I saw Sandalphon showing me the Gaia image where she's sort of holding you in her womb. And there's a beautiful birth happening. It's not painful though, which is interesting. That wasn't, I just saw like a flash of white light and then coming into a more beautiful world. Now that more beautiful world, the feeling I'm getting is that, if I may, and this might kind of test some people's belief systems or something, but it's almost like God is waiting for us to make a beautiful world. And as any loving parent would, sort of stepping back and letting us, like I've said this before, letting us make our own mistakes and letting us figure out what we can do. Like you wouldn't interrupt children who are getting frustrated because they're trying to build a little castle maybe on the beach, and it keeps tumbling and it keeps tumbling, and maybe you give some guidance and, you know, okay, if the sand's a little bit wetter and you use the bucket, you'll have a firmer foundation. You know, like you kind of guide them, but then pretty soon that child will learn and figure it out, and they'll build the most beautiful castle, and they would have done it on their own, and they will be so proud for what they've accomplished. Okay, and then they learn something about how much they're capable of doing and how powerful their creativity can be. So I think that's kind of what God is doing for us, and we're going to see something around that this week, where it's like we're in charge of making this world beautiful. Okay, it's not just somebody coming in and making it easy for us. Does that make sense? Then we have white, lighten up, the number is 24. You're not going to be able to see this on camera, I don't think, but there is a white feather going across this card. Lighten up, right? Again, coming back into that purity. Look at where you're just coming out into the light here, and then here you are in the light. So let me clarify. In the light does not mean I'm denying all the negative things that are going on in my world, and I will not consort with anybody who is upset about anything, who's having an emotion right now, because I have to stay in the light. You're in fake light. You're not even in the light because you're judging others, right? You're judging others for being on their path, right? And the way you got to where you are is by having those same emotions. You know when someone is truly wise and truly in the light, when they can look at you and you can feel free to have your heartbreak sort of spill out everywhere, and they still hold you in their gaze with a lot of love and a lot of compassion, and they let you have your moment, and then you feel like there's been a great catharsis. Okay, those are the true wise people out there. But yet, because spirituality is becoming such a trendy thing these days, I think people are trying to just hop into it and pretend that they're already there, and they're not careful with that. So there's like, I would say 25 to 30%. I love how they give me percentages. It's so funny. 25 to 33% of you out there do that fake light thing. You know, or you think you've made it because you want to feel, as a human, you want to feel like you've had this sense of accomplishment, this sense of completion. I can check that off my human resume. I did my spirituality. And I don't think it works like that. So honor each other, honor each other's path, honor where everybody is. Not everybody's going to be in the same category you are. I just sat and had a meeting with somebody yesterday who you could tell he did not understand what the heck I do for a living, but he was still very respectful and fascinated enough that he wanted to ask questions. This is a long video. We got to keep going though. This is the other thing that you guys have to start doing as well that I'm hearing. We all have to do it, not you guys, but me too. We have to, say it again, please. The self-righteousness. Okay. Can you, okay. Can you be clear, please? Yeah. Ooh. So there's a lot of this going on, right? Where everything is a social condition these days, right? Like, oh, here's this problem in the world. Oh, you said this, so now we're all going to attack you. We're in this era where it's the return of the witch hunt, right? And people just love doing this. They love, like, it's almost like they're lying in wait for someone to just trip a little so they can jump, so they can just pounce and just be like, and then they get the internet going. And now everybody's mad at this person, and now everybody's on the witch hunt. The actual witch hunts that used to happen, you know, I think it would be safe to assume that the people that were putting the so-called witches on trial were at home doing things 10 times worse, probably to their female servants out back, than what they were accusing the witches of doing, right? And that's the feeling I'm getting. We have to start coming into awareness about this. And the message here is to not get swept up in everybody else's battle too. Remember, this whole reading is about laying down the sword, right? And always remember, there are many wars going on here, right? And they are meant to make us angry with one another. They are meant for us to be at odds with one another so that we are weakened. When you are at war, you are vulnerable and you're weak. And when you're weak, you are controllable. This is what you're learning this week. Don't get involved. Now, this is not to say, like, if somebody's doing something really bad, you know, and like, you know, that's not to say to just sit back in inaction and not do anything about it or not speak up about it. But start to get that gauge going, guys, about when is it time to really speak up and when is it really just people trying to feel something, where they're so numb from the world around them that they have to start something in order to feel something. Okay? Now I could go on and on about this. This video is 35 minutes long already. So we'll end it there. Have a beautiful week. I love you. Make your wish again. That would be the third time in this video, right? We could do this always if you want. I'm happy to get a little altar going. Maybe next time I will have it turned around so you can actually have it in the background and you can enjoy it too. Love each other, guys. Find that love within you and project it out. We have to. Anyway, love you. Bye.